Hello everyone, it's Anna, welcome back. So today I wanted to give you a quick update which is a little bit different than my normal weekly update. So what I have last week, a couple of days, I shared with you my first full month on the Cambridge Weight Plan update, which was fantastic news in terms of how much weight I had lost. I had lost 1.9 kilos that week and a total of 11.1 kilos in the first month, which is a total of 24 pounds. I'm a quarter of a stone away from my 2 stones, so I am super happy with the results. And I also shared with you my top tips on on what it was that I was doing that I thought was really helping me out. So just to recap very quickly, I'm not going to go through them again, but just to recap because I think it's relevant. I spoke about the importance of being in the right headspace and being really motivated. The second thing was about sticking to the plan, so you find a plan that works and sticking to it because it will deliver for you. The third was about introducing variety because that's important to me, but I guess it's more about making sure that whatever you're eating works for you. If it's consistency, then consistency. If it's variety, then variety, and variety is what did it for me, or what is helping me. Then I spoke about planning ahead and really looking forward so that you can get yourself organized and come up with what are the right tactics for how you're going to handle different situations so you're not caught unaware. And then finally, the fifth tip was around daily focus, so finding a way to focus on yourself, check what's working, what isn't working, just keep track of what you've ate, how you're feeling, how it's impacting you, because following that process is important. And then I gave you a bonus tip, which was appreciating the progress, so taking time to feel whatever it is you're feeling, giving yourself time to think about and appreciate not just what the scales are telling you, but really what your body's telling you, how you're transforming and everything that is happening. So realistically, it was actually 6 tips. And on reflection, since I shared that with you, I actually wanted to add one more because I think it's super important, and I had potentially taken it for granted when I did that last video. But on reflection, actually, I think it's super important, and that is to get yourself some help and some supporters, and to make sure that you have people in your corner backing you up. And that could be in many different forms, but I can't stress enough the importance of building and creating the right support system, network, group around you. That might be your family, that might be friends, whatever it might be, but you also need that across different spaces of your life. So at home, for me, I'm conscious that my husband is so patient with me. I mean, we're doing it together, so it's great because we can share what we're feeling every day, but I'm pretty sure that he doesn't need to psychoanalyze everything and to just kind of check with himself and what he's going through as much as I do. So he indulges me in terms of being always happy to talk about what I'm feeling or how I feel that something's changed or not. But we do that for each other, and we encourage each other in terms of, appreciating how much our face has changed or our body has changed and how we're changing clothes. So talking about what is the next target of, what shirt or top I want to fit into next, and talking about, maybe how long do you reckon it might take us to get there or not. And actually that helps me to stay super motivated as well on a daily basis, and it's really nice and really encouraging. So having that support system at home is great. Also, it's not just about the good things. There are days when it's like, okay, well, this has gone down, but I feel like this is just not going away and it's just sticking out more. And this, saying, being supportive of, actually that's part of the process, it's normal, and sharing when just say, look, don't forget, this is how much you've lost already, this is what you've done, it makes a big difference. And then just helping to give you that little bit of a reality check and that sense check that you need is super important, because we all have those moments where you look in the mirror and despite the progress, you're still not seeing what you would like to see, and it's too easy to get caught up in that that negative loop of, oh my God, look at that part of my body that I don't like. So we're all consciously or subconsciously body shaming, and that's something that we do need help with, and he provides that for me. But also, I guess, I get that from my husband. Also, my family. I mentioned that my mother had given me a bit of a mini intervention because I really know that I wasn't. It's like a different form of body dysmorphia. I wasn't aware of how much weight I had put on, or I was in complete denial. I was aware that I was putting on weight, but it's almost like, well, I know that I was avoiding looking in the mirror, and therefore, if I wasn't looking in the mirror, I wasn't putting on the weight that I was not wanting to face, that I did not want to face, that I was putting on. And she, in a very loving way, really helped me to understand that I needed to do something about it. So my mother and I have always spoken about my weight. I've always been overweight. It's not the first time that she's tried to talk me into doing a diet or not. But I guess what clicked was that instead of just nagging or saying you need to lose weight or, this is happening, it was actually, we're worried about you and we love you whichever way and we want you to do well. And therefore, I cannot not tell you this. And I'm doing this because I care about you. So that really clicked for me. And that's kind of what helped me say, you really need to do something about this and start to think about what I could do. So that was my point, my instigating point. Maybe I know that many people have other moments, which is whether, there's an event that happens or somebody makes a comment, or there's something that you feel that makes you reach that saturation point. This was mine, and that's what triggered me, which was great. So having that person that gives you the reality as well, and for me, it's also very important to be able to have conversations where I say, I've gone down, but this is sticking out, and being told, yes, it is still sticking out, but it's so much smaller than it was before, and if you continue like this, it will only get better. And having that realistic conversation as opposed to just trying to soften things out or pretend that something's not happening is so much more valuable to me. Now, of course, doing this in a cruel way is never going to help anyone. But doing that in a loving, caring way where you're told the truths as well is incredibly important. So either for yourself or for you with others that may need that help, I think it's really important to take into account. And then the final bit is in terms of a different type of support group, person or individual, is who might be the people around you that can help you in other ways. So at work, I have, there's a friend at work, a colleague that she happened to start the diet, I think a week after I had started or so. And she had mentioned it to me that she'd done the diet years and years before, and it had really worked for her. And then she had a baby and wanted to help drop some of her post-pregnancy weight, and this is why she was doing it. Now, we hadn't discussed it, and she saw me with the product at work whilst I was going off to do my milkshake, and she literally said, "Oh my God, I'm doing this as well." So we started talking about the diet. Otherwise, it's nobody's business at work whether I'm dieting or not, so I just choose not to tell anybody, because everybody tries to dissuade you one way or another about whether what you're doing is right or wrong. So it's nobody's business, it's my own business, full stop. But we spoke about the diet. We said we'll support each other, but we actually don't nag each other. We don't talk about it other than occasionally once a week. We'll just say, how did you do? We support each other. We encourage, great job, well done. How are you feeling? And then we just carry on. So we're also not constantly talking about it, but it's nice to have that check-in point. The interesting thing is that yesterday we were in a group meeting. We were doing different type of activities. We had a session which was interestingly all about well-being. So we were talking about the importance of right sleep, getting the right, getting into right habits, getting up for your desk, going for a walk, making sure that you're nourishing your body in the right way. So they spoke about fruit, and they were just doing this thing, everybody should have a piece of fruit by the side. Make sure that you're eating some of it, whether it's a banana, whether it's grapes, something else. So it is intended to be very healthy, but all of a sudden in this group setting, because everybody was eating, people were going, Anna, you need to be eating, and like people were putting like grapes in front of me, or saying, do you want a mandarin, or there's a banana here you could be eating. And all of those are good things. They are healthy foods. It's fruit. Some of them are a bit more sugary, but it is still fruit, so it's not necessarily the worst thing, and I can understand where they were coming from. But this person in particular, that she knows what I'm doing, she just turned around, and I was already saying, no, I'm okay, and I was getting all of this nagging, and she literally turned around and went, she's good. And that was actually so great, because immediately everybody dropped and they let me be. And I didn't need to do anything, but actually just having that at work, and having that person that had my back and enabled me to just not have to justify myself and put any of that noise back, and just carry on with the session, and we had the good time, was such a pleasant surprise. But also it helped me to realize just how much we need that support system around us. And it made me really reflect around how much I take for granted what I already do have at home and in a personal environment. But also it was so important that in a professional environment where I spend so much of my time, I equally have that person that helps me, that has my back as well. Because it's in the little things like that catch you off guard, that you don't realise that they can get you down. And the emotional piece and the day-to-day management is such a big part of weight management and of the weight loss process, that I just couldn't not mention these, because as I thought about it, I thought, actually, I really need to make sure that I'm including that in the top tips of what's helping to lose weight, because it is super important. And if in any way this can help anyone, I know that it's made a big difference for me. But please appreciate what you do have and the support you have, and if not, think about who could be that person that would really have your back, and how do you create, make sure that you build and you focus on who are going to be your helpers along the way, that will support you in different settings of your life, because it will be super important to keep you going, to help you out, to keep you sane, and to help you to cope with things that you're not expecting. So that's all I wanted to share with you today. I hope that you find it useful. I would love to hear from you if you have any comments, or if there's anything you'd like me to talk about. Please leave a comment, and I will answer to you. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. All the best. Bye.